Somebody said they ain't gonna respond to me because I ain't ran nothing down. Man, have any one of you fool ass niggas ever looked the other way and said, man, who have you ran down, nigga? You feel me? Who have you ran down? You feel me? We not talking about what other niggas doing around you or what you paying for, family. Who have you physically done made checked out, man? Hey, listen, I can say this. And I stamp it. Strike me if I'm lying. I done made somebody meet that flat line. I'm not proud of it. I ain't glorifying it. I'm just saying, though. I done made a nigga meet the flat line before. You feel me? A few niggas can vouch for me, man. Cause
NBA YoungBoy just crossed a line that set the entire internet on fire. Social media erupted instantly, and NLE Choppa's child's mother jumped straight into the drama, laughing on Twitter and throwing serious shade. She called him out, saying he spends more time sending shots than handling his own responsibilities. And just like that, people went wild online. But trust me, it didn't stop there.
Favorite rapper. I'm trying to be with YoungBoy, he my favorite.
Things escalated even further when YoungBoy previewed a track aimed directly at Choppa, his child's mother, even calling out family lines. And Choppa made it clear he wasn't letting that slide. Let's slow it down and break this one clean, because what started as rap tension quickly got personal. This wasn't just music chatter anymore. This turned into straight-up disrespect, no exaggeration. To really understand how it got here, you've got to rewind to the early days, back when NLE Choppa was a young artist out of Memphis, looking up to someone he truly admired. And yes, that person was YoungBoy. This isn't internet rumors or wild guesses. Choppa himself has said it multiple times. Back in 2019, he openly called YoungBoy his favorite rapper, posting him on stories, talking about wanting a feature, saying, "YoungBoy, my favorite rapper," and grinding hard to make it happen.
Since y'all want to post everything, you'll post it. YoungBoy my favorite rapper, fuck you talking about.
But here's the part most people don't like to talk about. While Choppa was showing love, YoungBoy never really took him seriously. From the jump, YoungBoy seemed to see him as a try-hard, more image than substance, someone playing a role instead of living it. YoungBoy has always had a sharp eye for fake energy, and he spotted Choppa's vibes early on. From the start, he wasn't buying it. Back then, Choppa was remixing YoungBoy tracks non-stop, one after another. He flipped through the storm and even renamed Through the Rain, studying every move like it was homework. Flow, tone, cadence, energy, he was mirroring it all like a blueprint. Fans noticed immediately. The comments went wild, calling him NBA YoungBoy Light and Discount YoungBoy. And honestly, they weren't wrong. The influence was loud and clear. Choppa was biting hard at that point, trying to slide into the same lane instead of carving out his own path.
Gun in his video, right? You go to the next one, he got a gun in his video, right? Man, you gotta dig a little deeper sometimes, bro. All right, now look at his mama. His mama ain't no gangster, so how the f is he a gangster? That shit don't be adding up, bro.
Don't try to sit on.
Don't try it on. It's all
Now, here's where things first started to crack. March 2019, Choppa goes live on Instagram with his crew, laughing and vibing, until one of his friends started talking reckless. His boy said YoungBoy wasn't really about what he claimed and straight up disrespected his name. Choppa tried to calm it down on live, telling him to chill since thousands were watching, but it was already clipped and spreading fast. That video hit YoungBoy immediately. Same day, YB jumped on his own live and addressed it head on. He said something like, "Ain't no killer? Who said I ain't no killer?" You could hear the anger in his voice. No acting, no filter. And here's the wild part. Choppa instantly went live again trying to clean it up. He sounded shook, almost emotional, saying, "YoungBoy, my favorite rapper. I want to make a song with him, and I ain't got beef with nobody." But YoungBoy wasn't buying any of it. In his mind, if you can't control the people around you when they disrespect him, then you're just as responsible. That's street politics 101. And YB has been moving by that rule his whole life. No excuses, no passes.
You know where to be found. You don't need to check on your son.
Well, I hope what went down is that you washed them damn dishes.
The dish. The dishes, mom.
The dishes.
All of this going on, you talking about the dishes.
Yeah.
The dishes.
Now, this is where things really started to heat up. In 2023,
YoungBoy sat down with Rap Radar and dropped a statement that had the whole internet buzzing. He didn't name names, but everybody instantly knew who he was aiming at. YB said, word for word, "You look at all these rappers' videos, you're gonna see a gun in his video, right? But you gotta dig a little deeper sometimes, bro. Look at his mama. His mama ain't no gangster, so how the hell is he a gangster?"
I will your ass up. I'm not playing. I don't give a shit. I'm not playing with you. Take your ass to bed.
She hit me with a toaster. I'm calling Child Protective Service.
How? So they can probably remove your ass.
Do it again. I bet you won't.
When that clip dropped, the streets caught it instantly. That wasn't just a random comment. It was a direct shot at NLE Choppa and the image he'd been pushing. YoungBoy was basically saying, if the foundation ain't like that, then the front ain't real either. And let's be honest, Choppa's mother has been deeply involved in his career from day one. She manages him, handles interviews, talks about staying focused, keeping positive, and avoiding trouble. She posts motivation, not street talk. She's never been anything else. And YoungBoy calling that out? Yeah, that shook a lot of people.
Never with me picking a side. Honestly, bro, I barely read what Lil Reese said. I barely really read what he said. I just know what he was saying was siding with my boy Vaughn. If you would have asked me what Lil Reese tweeted, I wouldn't have been able to speak it word for word. I wouldn't have been able to tweet the whole tweet because at the end of the day, there wasn't the purpose behind it, like being on the side of just trying to be in some shit. It was just off the simple fact, like, bro don't be able to defend his name, and like, I just feel like with street stuff, if you did it, if there was your work, if you did all this and do that, speak freely of it, speak highly of it, you got every right.
But that was just the warm-up. The real tension ignited when Choppa chose a side in the deadly back and forth between YoungBoy and Lil Durk, tied to King Von's death. Things went left fast. Remember when Lil Reese tweeted about YoungBoy not being on demon time and just rapping like everyone else? Choppa jumped straight into those comments and said, "I stamp, fam," and that was the exact moment everything shifted. From YoungBoy's perspective, that read loud and clear, "Bet you in this too." What a lot of people miss is this wasn't just rap tension anymore. The situation between YoungBoy and Lil Durk ran way deeper than music, and everyone in the culture knew it. After what happened to King Von in Atlanta, things turned serious fast. That conflict sparked real division between cities, Chicago and Baton Rouge, and the tension wasn't just online chatter. So when Choppa co-signed Lil Reese's tweet, it wasn't harmless. That move looked like picking a side in real street politics, and that's not something YoungBoy plays with. January 2022 is when it blew up publicly. YoungBoy dropped "I Know," and there was nothing subtle about it. No sneak shots, no hidden meanings. He went directly at Choppa with sharp lyrics meant to hit emotionally and mentally. He even referenced Choppa's family in ways that crossed lines and made the entire hip-hop world stop and react. People were like, damn, YoungBoy really putting pressure on this situation.
Fast forward to 2024, and here's where a lot of fans say Choppa took a huge risk. Out of nowhere, he dropped KO with a full music video aimed straight at NBA YoungBoy. No ambiguity, no playing innocent, he went all in. And let's talk timing. YoungBoy was on fire at that moment. Big numbers, sold-out shows, heavy buzz everywhere. The tour was moving crazy. The video leaned hard on visuals and symbolism. Choppa went full artsy, showing YoungBoy as a puppet on strings, painting him as someone controlled by the system. He danced around with a replica head, moving wild, dramatic, doing choreography meant to shock and stir reactions. Credit where it's due, it was creative. But at the same time, it felt forced, like he was reaching too hard for attention.
Look at him. He's not grown. He's still a little pooty poo. Oh, shut up!
Real talk, that video wasn't cheap. People close to the industry say that kind of production costs serious money, 6 figures just to provoke a reaction. And that's where the desperation started to show. YoungBoy peeped it immediately. He saw the play for what it was, clout chasing dressed up as art. Instead of feeding into it, Yabi did the smartest thing possible. He ignored it completely. No posts, no responses, no interviews. That silence hit harder than any diss could. Now, Yabi did mention Chala briefly on a track, and the line was ice cold. He basically said Chala never ran nothing down, street talk meaning he didn't have the background to even be addressed seriously. It wasn't loud, it wasn't long, but it was heavy disrespect. It was Yabi saying, "You're not even worth the energy." That should have been the end of it, but Chala didn't stop. A few weeks later, he dropped another diss called Hello Revenge. This time, he really pushed it, trying to force a reaction. The visuals switched up too. Bible verses, serious tone, righteous angle. He tried to frame it like a mission instead of a beef, but the internet wasn't fooled. Fans saw through it clear as day. This whole situation turned into clout chasing at its peak, plain and simple.
Somebody said they ain't gonna respond to me because I ain't ran nothing down. Man, have any one of you fool ass niggas ever looked the other way and said, man, who have you ran down, nigga? You feel me? Who have you ran down? You feel me? We not talking about what other niggas doing around you or what you paying for, family. Who have you physically done made checked out, man? Hey, listen, I can say this and I stamp it. Strike me if I'm lying. I done made somebody meet that flat line. I'm not proud of it. I ain't glorifying it. I'm just saying, though. I done made a nigga meet the flat line before. You feel me? A few niggas can vouch for me, man. Because, hey, listen, a few niggas.
But then things went completely left. A few weeks ago, YoungBoy previewed a snippet that immediately shook the internet. The lyrics were aimed at NLE Choppa's mother, and while I won't repeat the exact words, it was clearly disrespectful and crossed a personal boundary. Everybody knew right away that a serious line had been crossed. Social media went absolutely nuts when that snippet surfaced. Fans were split, timelines were on fire, and even people who don't follow either artist were locked in. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get messier, it escalated again. NLE Choppa responded, and this is where he lost control of the narrative. He jumped on Instagram Live talking reckless, claiming YoungBoy isn't really about what he raps, and saying he relies on other people to handle problems for him. That alone stirred reactions, but then he kept going, and that's where it got ugly.
We need to stop the cap and stop trying to throw NBA YoungBoy and him in the same category. They don't have no beef. They ain't got no issue. It's none of that. Stop bringing that shit out because everybody tired of it. That's not the case. You starting stuff and you starting beef that has no relevance. They do not, absolutely do not have an issue with one or the other. Leave that shit alone. Point blank, period.
Choppa started making extreme claims on Live that went way too far. Talking about making somebody flatline and speaking reckless in a way that looked like self-incrimination. Whether it was talk, emotion, or pure frustration, it was a terrible move. Let me be clear, you don't jump on social media saying stuff like that, especially when you're trying to prove toughness. That's not how real situations are handled. People who actually understand the streets know one thing: loud talk online only brings trouble. From a street perspective, this is why the comparison doesn't land. YoungBoy has real credibility built from real situations. YoungBoy's background speaks for itself. He survived real danger, faced serious consequences, been locked up more than once, and lost people close to him along the way. That pain isn't for show. It's baked into his music and his story. You can hear it, you can feel it. And that's why a lot of fans say his records hit different. Now compare that to Choppa's path. Before rap, he was known as a basketball player who transitioned into music. His career was structured, protected, and guided from early on. His mother played a major role, managing him, keeping him focused, steering him away from trouble, and making sure he stayed clean and marketable. And there's nothing wrong with that at all.
But you can't live that life, then flip the switch and try to present yourself as some street legend. That image doesn't stick when the history doesn't match, and that's where people start calling cap. But here's the part that really had the internet laughing. NLE Choppa's child's mother, Marissa, jumped on Twitter and went straight at him. She didn't hold back. She said, paraphrasing, that Choppa has spent more time dissing NBA YoungBoy this month than actually speaking to his own son. Let that sink in. Your own child's mother publicly clowning you for chasing another rapper's attention. She was laughing, calling his behavior embarrassing, and pointing out how obsessed he's become with getting a response. That's not fans talking. That's someone from his real life saying it out loud. Marissa made it clear she's embarrassed by how he's moving, saying he looks foolish, chasing validation instead of focusing on what really matters. She went on to say she's tired of people constantly asking her about the beef. According to her, the situation is making both her and their son look bad just by association. That's when the conversation really shifted, because once family starts feeling the blowback, it's no longer entertainment. And in the streets and online, the talk has been non-stop. A lot of people are saying Choppa looks desperate, like he's willing to do anything just to stay relevant. The image flipped fast. He went from being seen as a young artist with real potential to someone people now call a goofy, throwing shots at people's mothers and talking reckless just for attention. Let's be real about what this situation actually shows. This beef exposed the difference between real street credibility and manufactured drama. Love him or hate him, YoungBoy has always stayed consistent with his energy. He doesn't chase clout, doesn't beg for reactions, and doesn't need controversy to stay talked about. The streets already know how he moves, and that's why his name always rings out. Choppa, on the other hand, has been switching lanes non-stop. First, he was the young wild artist from Memphis. Then he pivoted into a spiritual phase, talking herbs, healthy living, selling products, and speaking on enlightenment. Now he's trying to flip back into a hard image again. That inconsistency is loud. People are starting to see through it, clear as day. And when your own child's mother is laughing at you publicly and calling out your behavior, that says everything without saying too much. What really makes this situation wild is how Choppa went from making songs called Free YoungBoy when YoungBoy was locked up, showing support, to now dissing him and his mother. All of this proves one thing, clear as day: no loyalty, no principles, no code. Choppa showed he'll switch on anyone if he thinks it benefits him in the moment. This whole situation is a textbook example of what happens when someone tries to build buzz off another man's name instead of their own work. He really thought going at the hottest rapper in the game would give him momentum. Instead, it exposed him. The moves came off desperate, reckless, and way too thirsty for attention. Lines got crossed that never needed to be crossed, and once you do that, there's no walking it back. YoungBoy played this the smart way. He didn't rush to respond, didn't chase headlines, didn't feed the clout play. He stayed quiet, only spoke when it mattered, and let the situation unfold on its own. Meanwhile, Choppa kept reacting. YoungBoy let him self-destruct in real time. Now look at the aftermath. Choppa's own child's mother is publicly laughing at him. The internet is clowning him non-stop. Whatever credibility he thought he had took a serious hit. That's not hate, it's consequences. The lesson here is simple. Stay in your lane and build your own wave. Chasing someone else's spotlight always backfires. Choppa went from being seen as a promising young artist to someone who couldn't stop chasing attention, all because he wanted that YoungBoy response. Now let me know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Choppa can recover from this, or is his reputation already done for? Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this with someone who needs the full breakdown, and comment your take. Appreciate everyone rocking with me, and I'll see you on the next one.